I discovered something through her Google search history and I was devastated. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. My wife, 34F, and I, 32M, started dating about 2.5 years ago. We became engaged almost 2 years earlier, and also we got married about 6 months ago. This month, 1 year back, my wife, bride-to-be at the time, cheated on me. I learned it by accident. We both have access to each various other's phones, computer systems, etc. So one day I asked to borrow her laptop to search for a family item that she had actually previously Googled so that I can purchase it. And while browsing her search history I saw that a week prior she had Googled hotels near her work. Google also showed me that she called one the hotels she Googled. My heart just sank when I saw this details, however I told myself that I didn't know the whole story. It was possible that she was very tired and simply went to have a space to rest or something. So that night when we went to bed I asked her if she loves me and she answered of course. After that I asked her if she had actually ever cheated on me. She responded with asking me why I would ask her something like that. My heart just dropped once again. I told her that I was simply asking, and she stated however, what would certainly make you ask that question? Now instead of confessing, she went on to pressuring me on telling her what I know and afterwards she'll tell me her answer. This strategy made everything extra worse for me due to the fact that I understand that it indicates that there's most likely a lot more stuff that I'll never learn about anymore. So I told her that I saw her Google history and she then confessed that she had cheated on me at that time and that she was sorry. She said that there was a guy from her job that said all of the right things. And in addition to that she mentioned how much she likes to perform oral sex and that she and I don't do that often and when we do I never orgasm from it. She then went on to say that it was only oral sex between the two of them, no intercourse, and that she was going to terminate communication with him immediately. Growing up, I always told myself that if someone cheated on me then I would break up with them immediately, but at this point, I felt so conflicted. I remember thinking at least she didn't try to cover it up more, but I was on a roller coaster of emotions. I was angry, I was sad, at one point I felt like it was my fault, and then at another point, I felt like I should cheat to make things fair but I didn't. I am a bisexual man, she has known since our third date, and she and I had been going to couples counseling together. There are several things that I would like to explore sexually with her that she has no interest in. So in therapy, we discussed the idea of possibly opening our relationship, just a little. From my side of things, if there was something that she wanted that I was unable to or didn't want to do, she knew that I would be okay with it as long as we discussed it first. But instead, she went behind my back. If I hadn't been looking for this particular product, I probably would have never known about it. And who knows how many times something else like this has happened. For some weird reason, by going behind my back, it made me feel like there was this other man out there that had a power over me. When I found out about this, we had approximately 6 months left until our wedding. We had already made several deposits and my family and friends were also excited about the whole thing. I decided to forgive her and to go through with the wedding, but my trust was completely broken. At that point, I asked her to make sure she's always sharing her location with me, and I would start looking for things on her phone and on her laptop. I was suspicious if she came home later than expected or wanted to go out for brunch with her girlfriends. But she did a really good job of showing me that she made a mistake and that she wanted to make it right. She called and told her close family what she had done and vowed to never do that again. She told me that I had a free pass if I ever wanted to redeem it, and I told her that I didn't. She told the other guy that what they did was wrong and that she will no longer be communicating with him, and she's genuinely made an effort to rebuild my trust. It has helped a lot. But things still aren't perfect. It's like unfolding a paperclip and then trying to fold it back into its original shape. It looks similar but now there are small imperfections in it. At random times, dark thoughts run through my head. What if she's still cheating? Why would she cheat on me? Should I get even? But it's getting easier to manage. Here we are 6 months into marriage and I can say that the future's looking brighter every day, but it is not an easy road to take. Here are some of the best comments from our community. Do you honestly believe that they got a hotel room and only had oral sex? They could have done that in the car. I don't think she was being truthful with you. You swept it under the rug which never works and now you are questioning everything. You got married without ever being over it. Have you thought about individual counseling? You have some tough decisions ahead of you. I can understand why you would make the decision to just make peace with the things you do know and then work on moving forward. At some point it just gets exhausting trying to hunt down all of the dirty details. Also, I understand why you went through with the marriage. This isn't good advice, but I guess in my opinion there is always divorce if it ever happens again. Here is the second story. My twin cheated on her husband who we both knew since second grade. For some background, I have a twin sister who we will call Elle and a childhood friend of both of ours named Brian. Growing up, my sister and I were always inseparable from each other and our best friend Brian. We've known Brian since the second grade and have always been super close. Elle and Brian have always had sort of a romantic connection that was cute. During college, they got together and started dating. We graduated and they moved in together, and eventually got married, no kids. Since I am a third party, I won't go fully into deep details with how she cheated simply because I wasn't there. But for a brief synopsis, she fell in love with someone she was working with and cheated on him. She felt that he was more of a man and a lover than Brian. They got a quick divorce and then she moved in with her coworker. Did I also mention that this coworker lives in the same apartment building as Brian and her? So now he has to see his ex-wife and the man who took her many times throughout the week. My problem is that we were all so close to Brian. He loved her with every ounce of his soul and provided and cared for her. Not to mention the fact that he's been loving her since high school. When I asked Elle if he did anything to provoke her to cheat, I know there's no good excuse, but for my twin I was trying to find one. But she never once faulted him, she simply would make comments about how her coworker is so much better than him and that Brian was half the man he was. I argued with her once because I was completely shocked and disgusted by her actions. But I try not to anymore because in reality it's not my relationship or my life. But I've lately been finding myself furious with her, and even felt some hatred. This girl, my twin, was the nicest person in the world and she ended up cheating on and tormenting the daily life of someone who has been such a beacon of light in our lives with such little remorse. Our parents are furious at her too, our mom is extremely disappointed and our dad is heartbroken. He's mostly heartbroken because of the fact that Brian never had a dad growing up. And since our dad never had a son, Brian was kind of like the son he never had. He's known him for his entire childhood and gave him advice and help that his own father couldn't. How can I get over this? I have such negative feelings about my sister right now and I want to rid myself of it because at the end of the day, it isn't my relationship or my life. Something inside of me bursts into fire every time I even think of her. Should I talk to her again? Should I just distance myself from her until my feelings pass? I have no idea what to do. I haven't reached out to him yet because I felt that it wasn't my place. I know my parents have reached out to him so I may do the same. Here are some of the best comments from our community. Please reach out to Brian. He's your lifelong friend and could probably use the support. Just be aware that he may think you knew about the cheating and didn't tell him. Just let him know you're there for him if he wants. With regards to your sister, maybe go low contact with her until you feel ready to talk. No law says you have to be close to her or accept her new whatever he is. Good luck. I think once you accept that your sister is a morally bad person, it gets easier. You can go back to loving your sister who makes bad decisions, instead of trying to find the perfect sister who doesn't exist anymore. Give up the idea of your sister who you once knew, and accept this new one. Just be wary to not put yourself in a position where she could betray/turn on you. You see what she did to her husband and that could be an indicator of something selfish she would do that would hurt you. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.